Ross series. This is not Kaiser Ross. This is not even close to Kaiser Ross. This is a World of Red France series. I don't know what I'm doing in the other series. That's okay. And well, as we know in this series, World War IV broke out between the communists and the democracies, which was a long time coming. And as we know, the advantage in Africa is in the favor of the red team, as the red team moves down to seize this opportunity, with a planned invasion of Britain to happen later. Let's see how it goes. Well, they get pushed back a tiny bit, but that's because of not the best outcome. Never will the best outcome be every outcome. And then East Africa realizes something bad. They're moving in from Ethiopia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Quickly, their country is going to fall to the ground as it's surrendered. And then they quickly move into Malawi. And after moving into Malawi, they cut off a big chunk of, what's this called? Mozambique, to re-liberate it. And they try to re-liberate down. And they realized they should free Namibia after, make Namibia communist. Because they said when they get back, they will make Namibia communist. As they quickly move in, quickly getting to the Cape. As in the east, they quickly move towards Johannesburg and Pretoria, quickly taking out the country, leading to the surrender of Botswana and Zimbabwe. And so then they move to Madagascar, with India starting to island hop into Southeast Asia. Although China takes the upper hand for a tiny bit, with a war breaking out. But this has nothing to do with this war. It's just a side war. Basically, Iran is power hungry. Basically, is all it is. It's not that they're joining a side. They're just Iranian imperialism, which is different than imperialism, as I said. Let's see how this war goes. Well, a quick siege in the south begins, with quickly the forces of Iran move up the coast in north from Afghanistan to Tajikistan and Turkmenistan. Quickly they move up the coast, taking most of the Caspian Sea coast. And quickly they start taking over Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. And over here in this front, they quickly move in, seizing the upper hand. Kazakhstan offers peace, but Iran refuses it, knowing they can win. But Kazakhstan just wants to embarrass them at this point. Like, if you know you're going to lose, why not just embarrass you? With them sending so many troops in to just embarrass them. But it didn't matter, it didn't change the outcome. So they basically just wasted time and resources. Well, Kazakhstan's capital is on next in line. As it falls, the Central Asian Republic decides to surrender, or Central Asian republics, with China having pushed back significantly against India and China. Yes, China pushed back against China. North China pushed back South China. It's more accurate. And they even start pushing in. They're pushing back Communist China. And well, quickly they end up in a stalemate. Right now it's favoring their team, but realistically, is it really? Now let's see what Iran decides to do to the Central Asia, calling it the Kazakh Republic. But Germany seizing an opportunity that nobody else saw, with a Russian puppet who wants to expand into the Ural state, they decided an invasion of it is necessary for the own good of society. As quickly an invasion takes place. By the time Western forces arrive, well, they've managed to secure most of the state, which means China's now fighting on sending troops up north, meaning India pushes them back over here towards Mongolia, with the goal of forcing Mongolia to surrender. With them moving from here towards Ulaanbaatar to force a surrender, China pushes them back, so they fail to take Ulaanbaatar. But they've managed to move far, And with that use of forces, India decides to push them back over this way on this part because that's the best idea they have. And they push China to about there. The Republic of China, basically, as Communist China is different in this timeline. This quickly becoming the front line. And while in the Ural state, well, this isn't going good. Well, both fronts have meet up. With India's forces now moving into the island of Java, and island hopping down a bit. With a landing in the Philippines, which I think is still part of America at this point. They managed to take the Philippines out. And at this point, they're starting to just island hop. Managed to take the island of Borneo, and then what's the Star Island called? The landing in Britain being planned for after the fall of Asia. With the new invasion being to try to make Russia want to go communist. With that part of Russia being forced into capitulation as they didn't have enough resources to survive. And Mongolia surrenders. With a quick occupation being happening. It looks like China's going to lose land to Russia, which they plan to massively expand. Well, Siberia decides to surrender, seeing we're just going to become, we're still Russia, so we can just join the other Russia. We'll still be Russia, basically, they say. And China basically starts to give up. With India's forces coming in from the south and the rest of the Commune League coming in from the north, it's almost impossible that they'll make it. Well, they manage to take Beijing. And quickly they kick them out of Manchuria, and they move down the Korean Peninsula. With them managing to push the Americans back from their occupation zone. And Japan. And India's navy manages to land in Japan and the north. Quickly, American troops are forced to try to get somewhere else with their decision to help Britain. With the communists promising Northern Ireland if Ireland joins. Why would they do that? Because it's in their best interests. I guess they would decide. And it increases the excitement of this. With Britain losing this, and then they start landing in some of the surrounding islands for fun. With the communists deciding to land in this area around Northumberland, I guess. And move up towards Scotland and into Wales. Taking Manchester. I think Manchester is there, and so is Liverpool in that area. Or I'm missing stuff. As they make another landing in the south right near London, which they quickly managed to encircle and take out. And England surrenders. Well, not England, Scotland, really. Realistically, all of England's gone. Well, India manages to get even further to go to Papua New Guinea. With Australia and New Zealand deciding the best thing they can do is leave. And it's probably going to turn out impossible for them to get to North America. With Iceland, with a naval battle now occurring in this area. I'm just going to draw out where the massive naval war is happening. There's a major naval war happening here. All the way to Antarctica. And the other war is happening in this area. And then it's the Arctic, so it's too cold to do anything. So basically, all around is breaking out. And it goes right like this, I guess. Trying to block them in. The goal of the Western nations is for them not to do anything. That's their massive goal, but as you can see, this is big. They realize that the most likely outcome is going to be, well, America takes half the world and France takes half the world. Yes, communist France is in charge. And then there's Germany, pretty strong. And then there's India, one of the strong communist nations. But that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Why should you subscribe? So we can get to 3,000 subscribers by December 25th. Bye, guys! Wild Mapper out.